All right, coming up next, it's a UFC heavyweight showdown. All right, so here he is, one of the better boxers in this division. Certainly has a well-rounded MMA skill set, but it's hard to leave the walk with anything other than the hands, which might be the best in this division.
Especially when you look at some of the highlights, right? You look at him landing that jab, and it's almost picture perfect. The jab lifts the head, the right hand follows, and guys are going to sleep.
Yeah.
I would love to be considered a boxer if I had the skills that this young man possesses. Be happy, because you spent a lifetime developing it, and now it puts you on the cusp of UFC superstardom.
He looks as comfortable throwing a jab as I do, like folding a slice of pizza in half, you know? Well, this is exciting here, DC. The founder of Jeet Kune Do, one of the founding fathers, really, of mixed martial arts, Bruce Lee, is back in a big spot here tonight.
Bruce Lee is what every kid looked to when they thought about doing karate. Bruce Lee is the person that anyone looked at when they said, I want to be a fighter. It was the speed, it was the charisma, it was the approach of Bruce Lee that made him so special. And tonight, he's gonna look to show a new generation of fighters exactly how it's supposed to be done.
And if you hear the phrase, drillers make killers, right? I mean, that was Bruce Lee in a nutshell. He felt like practice would make perfect. Nobody trained as hard as the great Bruce Lee. Our tale of the tape for this heavyweight fight. 4 years, the difference in age between these two fighters, with big differences in height, but some differences in reach. Here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the Octagon, Yves Loving. And now, this is the moment UFC fans around the world have been waiting for. Live from the sold-out Madison Square Garden Arena in New York City, it's time! 5 rounds in the UFC heavyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. This man is a boxer, making his professional debut here tonight. He stands 6 feet 2 inches tall, weighing in at 255 pounds. Fighting out of Aurora, Colorado, ferocious. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. This man is a mixed martial artist, making his professional debut here tonight. He stands 5 feet 7 inches tall, weighing in at 145 pounds. Fighting out of Los Angeles, California, Bruce the Dragon Lee.
Okay, guys, protect yourself at all time, obey my command at all time. If you want to touch love, do it now, go back to your corner. You ready? You ready?
All right, crowd getting excited as this fight gets underway, and you hate to call any fighter on this UFC roster a specialist, but on one side, you have a definite striker taking on a true 5-tool player.
And you see a guy in the striker who knows exactly who he is. He knows where the fight needs to be. He knows what he has to do in order to be successful. Let's see if he can keep his opponent off of him.
Oh, collar tie.
His opponent's got him in the clinch. He needs to break away and get back to his range because he's taking punch after punch from this clinch position. Beautiful strike.
So both guys landing at will here. Good action early. Oh, combination lands, and it seems like almost every strike found the target.
He's so accurate when he decides to attack. It is a sight to behold.
And they separate. Ooh, found a home for that knee. Man, it's almost like he's got a rangefinder out there. Just too easy as he connects with another good series of punches there.
If you're boxing this guy and only boxing him, you will be in trouble.
And they separate. All right, so we have got a full-on brawl to start this fight. Any concern that these guys might burn themselves out?
Oh, they're going to exhaust themselves. So we may as well enjoy it right now, because come the third round, regardless of the weight class, they're going to look like two tired heavyweights in the middle of the octagon.
Oh, really using his reach advantage there as he lands the punch, DC. Oh, nice scramble by him there. Takedown defense on point. He is a master in transition.
Ooh, head kick lands, he's hurt. Big, powerful punch lands. Now he gets back to range.
Oh, he's keeping busy here in the clinch. Knee to the body. Checks that leg kick. And both guys really throwing with authority.
Right hand landed.
All right, closes the distance, gets the single collar tie. Good series of strikes by him there.
Great job of mixing it up, staying active, keeping busy, doing great work. Nice straight punch.
Oh, a little single collar tie there. Splits the guard, lands the right hand.
It's very tricky when he throws that body kick.
Oh, that right hand is on point. Got the single collar tie.
When you're in a clinch, you can pull down on the head and land these beautiful punches to the head.
Going to the leg kick now, and it's there. Nice job by Lee. Oh, just missed on the overhand right. And they separate.
Look at him whip his hip into that kick.
All right, so a nice straight punch there after he caught the leg. He decides to punch out as opposed to going for any takedown.
Big punch in the clinch.
Mixes it up nicely in terms of staying heavy and also staying active.
There's no tell on that leg kick. Big punch lands. Ooh. Oh, big elbow.
Oh, spinning back fist. He didn't telegraph that one at all. Trying to establish that jab once again.
Great diversity in his attack. Nice elbow to the clinch. Nice kick. These guys are going at it.
Starting to do some really significant damage to the body here. Another strike lands there.
He's in a good flow right now. He's landing big shots to the body.
All right, he engages in the single collar tie.
Big punch lands over the top. How's he gonna follow this one? Again, back into this position.
Still unable to find that precise range with the high kick.
Ooh, what a head kick.
Back and forth we go. Lee's shot there is blocked.
That was lightning fast, that right hand.
He is all about that left kick to the body.
Great punch landed with so much power.
20 seconds left. Oh, roundhouse. Talk to me about that kick.
He is throwing his entire body into that kick to the point that he turns all the way around before he can face his opponent again.
And they separate. Lands a nice straight punch there. Now we'll see if he can follow it up.
What do you follow up a great punch like this with? I'm excited to see what happens.
All right, DC, let's look at some of the highlights from the last round. Lot for the replay guys to choose from.
Yeah, man, these guys stood on a quarter in the middle of the octagon. Take one to give one. Over and over, each guy landed, and they both landed very well over the course of that first round.
All right, DC, second round is getting underway. Round one, not the round of the year necessarily, but some good in there.
And it's not always gonna be. You got two very talented fighters. Sometimes it's very even. That's what we saw from round one.
Well, we talked about that reach advantage as you see him land the straight punch there. Great job using his length in that situation.
Oh, nice right hand.
Good series of strikes for him there, staying busy and staying accurate.
I mean, the accuracy is unbelievable. He gets to a spot, the tie clinch. Then he starts to let the knees fly. Oh, that's a nice strike. That was a thudding leg kick.
Hard shots landing on both sides here. Oh, nice hook by him. Now the transition to the judo throw right into side control where he will have no shortage of options. A lot of top pressure being applied here as he works out of side control. Bottom fighter trying to control posture, unable to do so.
And now he's in a lot of danger. He's got to grab that head or he's going to get blasted.
Well, anytime you are in a ground fighting situation with this fighter, you're potentially playing with fire. And they both stand up. Oh, and he connects with a punch there, DC. You like this guy.
I like this guy a ton. And to watch him punch, I just put a smile on my face. Oh, he hurt him bad with a jab. Nice kick.
Oh, continuing to work the body to great effect. Right-left combo by Lee. Man, look at the redness starting to appear on the left side of his body. His opponent would be wise to continue to attack there.
Right hand punch in the clinch.
Kick to the body by Lee.
Nice strike. There's no give on that leg kick.
Man, is he timing his shots well here tonight, DC. It's hard to recall him being this accurate in the past.
I mean, he is so sharp. And not only is he accurate, he's also keeping very busy.
Oh, and now the underhook, DC.
He's got the underhook, he's got the far side post. If you're the opponent, you have got to get out of here.
Well, a really good second round for him thus far. After a somewhat lackluster first round, he has found the rhythm and found his striking range. Scary proposition for the opponent now here in round two. Looked like he might have landed there. Instead, a swing and a miss by Lee. Eats the elbow there.
Beautiful head kick.
Single collar tie now.
Huge knee lands to the clinch. Punch over the top. Real sneaky body kick.
Oh, single collar tie here. Now he's got the Muay Thai plug. Oh, man, snapped his head back with the uppercut there.
You can see him throw his entire body into that uppercut.
Stuffs the takedown there. How good is his takedown defense? Oh, clipped him with the overhead. Man, he keeps on coming with these shots to the liver, looking to buckle him once again. Certainly buckled him earlier in the fight. He knows he's hurt there. Oftentimes it takes just one to get his opponent down to the canvas. Man, he's timing his shots nicely. It's like Tom Brady out there. He hasn't missed the target.
I mean, you insist on bringing in Tom Brady. Stop it, John, stop it.
All right, some really grueling work here in the clinch. Both fighters really struggling to gain a dominant position.
That happens whenever you understand the position. Both know exactly what they need to do. And when both fighters are trying to do the same thing, it's very, very difficult to get the desired result.
Well, you saw us reference it in the tail of the tape, DC. He's got the reach advantage and certainly made good use of it there in landing that jab. So he's really starting to put together some significant body shots here. These are going to take their toll as this fight goes on. Spinning back fist. All right, so a nice job there defensively to raise the guard and prevent any damage.
Those hands never leave where they're supposed to be. And if you do that, most times you will block the shot that's incoming. I mean, he's cutting them down to size with these beautiful leg kicks.
Oh, and there's a land with the kick, so certainly a good sign for him there.
When that's working, you know he's in for a good night.
All right, he engages in a single collar tie here.
Look at those weapons. Look at how he uses his knees to the body.
Again, they clinch. 10 minutes in the books. All right, let's check out some of the action now from that previous round, and he really kept finding a home for those kicks.
Yeah, and why would you change it? If your opponent is not going to check, if he's going to stand there and he's not on his toes and he's stationary, you keep driving those kicks into his thighs, into his body, until he makes some sort of adjustment.
Jump that round. You're all right. You're going to get back out there and put it on him now. It's a little payback confident.
All right, another round is now underway. Pretty good previous 2 rounds. We'll see who makes the requisite adjustments now.
The adjustments are going to be the key, John. When you're doing everything you're trained to do and it stays this close, you got to really switch it up. Wood Corner was able to relay that message to their fighter better in between rounds.
Just missing on the uppercut there. Well, most fighters can't keep up this type of aggression and pace, but you don't have to worry about this guy. He hasn't really showed any signs of slowing down tonight. He blocks the punch. All right, he'll engage in a single collar tie.
Look at the turnover in that kick.
And both fighters exchange in the pocket. Right hook to the body. Oh, big knee there.
That knee hurt him.
Both guys landing with conviction now. It's a big knee. All right, single collar tie now.
Left hand punch from the clinch.
Dirty boxing here up top by Lou. Stuffs the takedown, no problem.
That was a nice strike.
Man, look at that damage on the right side of his body. Starting to really bruise now. Continues to mix it up, going to the head, mixing in some body shots.
Big knee.
Muay Thai club.
I mean, this guy is really focused on those punches to the head inside of the clinch.
Fruit punch. That's not very good.
Fruit punch. Look at him working at trying to shut the liver down.
Just over 3 minutes to go in round 3.
If your opponent has you in the clinch, pulling down on your head, landing punch after punch, you have got to clear that collar tie, reach back inside, and try to find space. Sneaky head kick.
Oh, collar tie. Lee gets the tie clinch here. Much improved defensively as he blocks the shots. He closes the distance, gets the single collar tie.
Look at how he turns his hip over when he throws that kick.
Oh, he lands another strike to the body. He just continues to punish his opponent's midsection here in this round. And he connects there with a punch, so pretty good striking display by him thus far.
He throws everything so straight and so accurate.
Nice counter with the hook shot there by Lee. A little cut below that left eye. And there comes the separation now. A little single collar tie there.
Nice job of hiding that head kick.
And he landed the right hand there.
Ooh, big shot lands.
Timing his shots nicely here, champ.
He's doing a great job of mixing everything up and using a lot of diverse strikes. Look at how he drives his knees right into his opponent's midsection.
Back and forth we go. Beautiful spinning attack there. Oh, and he caught the kick. A little struggle here now for position in the clinch, and we see a lot of these situations in mixed martial arts where both fighters sort of end up getting comfortable here when there isn't a whole lot going on.
And the moment somebody gets comfortable, the moment that somebody decides to relax, the moment you'll see a takedown or somebody really speed out ahead of their opponent. You gotta be aware when you're chest to chest in this 50-50 position.
Now he's got the Muay Thai plug.
Good stick.
Got that knee to connect to the body, and if you're the defensive fighter here, you got to make sure you don't eat too many more.
You cannot eat. You got to get the elbow inside. Otherwise, you're going to land one, and it's going to shut everything down. Big head kick.
Lee gets plastered by that uppercut. Got the single collar tie.
Massive knee to the body land.
And here he is back in familiar territory in the clinch. Oh, nice knee to the body, very nice.
He understands that doing the body work will pay dividends the longer the fight goes.
You need to snap out of it. You're taking too much back. You have to start defending yourself.
All right, now we take a look back at some of the action in that previous round, DC. A lot to like on both sides, really.
I mean, both were intent on going forward. And what happens when nobody wants to take a step back? They meet in the middle. That's exactly what they did, and they both found success over the course of that round.
All right, next round is underway. He was super active in the previous round, landed a bunch of knees, did a lot of damage. We'll see if he can follow up with more of the same here.
It does not take much in terms of how many knees you have to land to really take an effect on your opponent. In that round, we saw him make it a priority, and he landed him at an alarming rate.
Oh, now gets an underhook to get a more dominant position.
Caught that kick there.
Lee gets the tie clinch here. Nice connection with a punch there. It's hard to recall a time in the past that his boxing looked this sharp.
He's never looked this good.
Muay Thai plump. Misses with the right hand.
Oh, nice. Nice. You got to check these low leg kicks.
Would you look at the size of that bruise on his body? His opponent will likely continue to attack. Well, he continues to do a nice job here defensively, protecting the head and sort of maybe letting his opponent gas out a little bit with all the volume.
His opponent sees the target, but he can't get to the target. So he'll continue to throw, and he'll continue to wear on his own gas tank.
Oh, lands a knee to the head. Taller fighter once again finding the target with relative ease. All right, he engages in the single collar tie.
I mean, this is his game here. Control your opponent's posture, land those nice elbows around his guard.
Oh, strong punch there by Lee.
Beautiful straight punches.
Single collar tie now.
Hands up for me. Come on now.
Well, he's got the kicking game going tonight. Lands another one there.
A beautiful kick, and all I can think of, better him than me.
Well, you got to think he's happy with this performance here tonight. Essentially, just the way he drew it up, it's been a striking point.
It's like a fairy tale. He's doing everything he's wanted to do, and his opponent isn't doing much to try and deter him and really mess with the game plan.
Well, DC, headgear's not allowed, but he has raised the hands, and he's doing a nice job protecting the dome.
He's doing a great job of blocking his head. A lot of times, those shots to the head will knock you out. Not this time. This guy's making sure nothing lands. Nice punch lands.
Back and forth we go here. Well, this is exactly the sense of urgency you're looking for. Try to take the judges out of it. He is lighting them up now. Nice 1-2 there. Oh, that is a nice straight punch by him there. He's got it all going tonight.
No wasted actions, no loopy punches. He's going right to the target. Big body kick.
Oh, single collar tie here.
I mean, look at the commitment to kicking this fight. Oh,
really timing his shots nicely. Good tempo, very accurate, finding the range with relative ease.
yeah, he's doing a great job of really overwhelming his opponent with activity. Over and over, he's landing these big body kicks.
Effective punch there by Lee. Oh, the cut on that cheek is only getting worse. His face is a mess.
Left hand punch from the clinch.
Oh, that's a good right hand. All right, he engages in a single collar tie here. Nice liver shot lands. Good defense to block the strike coming back.
Oh! Dude's hurt. Serve him up. Go get him.
Just missed on that spinning attack.
He's throwing every part of himself into these big leg kicks.
Oh, massive knee up top.
back in clinch position. This is where he has done. Oh, there you go. There you go.
All right, bottom fighter here, maybe looking to hip escape, DC. All right, trying to pass here, as Glover Teixeira might say, not today.
Not today. Great job of following with the hips, keeping those legs locked and keeping them in full guard.
All right, so you got to be careful playing on the ground with this guy. You don't want to mess around for too long. Well, you know I don't like the gi very much, but I have an appreciation and a healthy one for these type of transitions.
You can tell he's been in a gi at some point in his life with the way that he moves so freely.
I'm skipping jiu-jitsu next week, too.
All right, take a deep breath. Relax. You're okay. You got rocked that last round, but you're fine.
All right, there's the end of the round, and you've got to be in a serious flow to not just execute that Superman punch, but to even attempt it.
To even try it, you got to be really in your rhythm. Everything has to be going perfectly, as we saw in the lead up to that attack.
Well, what a round it was, and how about that flying Superman punch at the end of the round? Not a lot of fighters will try it. He did, he executed.
And it worked, right? No discouragement from his opponent to make him not try it. Why not try it? It's working, so why not try it again? If his opponent isn't careful, he will get knocked out and be on a highlight reel for the rest of the time.
Well, not only has he stayed aggressive as he was in the previous round, landing a high volume of strikes, but he's also been efficient, not just with his strikes, but also with his body movement. Complete performance out of this fighter here tonight.
That's a big strike right there.
Head off the center line, slips the punch.
Head kick.
All right, he'll engage in a single collar tie.
He's in trouble. He's hurt bad.
Huge shots there. So fighter a little bit stunned, holding on to him now, not doing a ton, just looking to recover. Oh, big left. All right, single collar tie now. Lee gets the tie clinch here.
Right hand punch in the clinch.
Oh, man, that cut is getting worse. Absolutely nasty.
Look at the control of the posture as they land that knee.
DC, didn't take him long to find his range here tonight, huh?
His timing is on point.
Oh, nice connection there with a punch, DC.
Great time to land that punch.
Oh, collar tie. Just misses with a left hook there. Flush right hand is true. All right, he closes the distance, gets the single collar tie. Lee gets hit by that leg kick. May not be a bad idea to start to check some of these.
Nice kick.
Oh, beautiful kick to the body there, and he just left himself wide open for that strike. Very vulnerable by leaning in, keeping the guard high to allow for an opening down low.
Good punch.
Oh, a little single collar tie there. Pretty good right hand.
He can barely stand.
Blocks that strike. Got the single collar tie. Oh, he got that knee up to the head. Man, how good is his right hook counter?
Nice body.
Try to establish that jab.
Beautiful punch.
Well, he has certainly found the range and staying pretty busy here on the feet.
He's being busy, but it's also the timing and the accuracy that's allowing him to land so many attacks.
Immediately gets the underhook. Lee's got the tie clinch now.
All right, take your time, relax.
Oh, a huge block there.
Big leg kick land. Right hand punch in the clinch. He's digging his entire weight into those punches to the body.
Stuffs the takedown, no problem. All right, he engages in the single collar tie. And they separate. Well, a lot of fighters say there's no worse feeling on fight night than when your cardio abandons you, and There's been a lot of output in this fight, but both of these men are absolutely gassed.
Oh, he's hurt bad. He's hurt bad, John. He's got to press him. He's got to go chase that finish down now.
So holding on to him here, not doing a ton, perhaps just looking to recover.
What a punch.
Man. Whoa!
What a fantastic strike to throw at the exact right moment. He deserves this moment. Go finish this fight.
Single collar tie now. That knee might have landed there.
Ooh, nice right hand.
Oh, single collar tie here. And they separate. 30 seconds now to go in the round. Lee gets caught with that punch. Able to check that kick as well. Lee gets absolutely tagged by that stiff jab. Nice liver shot lands. Right hand on point. What else can you say but what a fight? All right, so the fight goes the distance. We'll take a look back at the action, but should go his way given all he got done in the striking game.
Yeah, he did a great job of landing at will, mixing up the target, doing everything that he's become known for in order to cruise to a very good decision. I know he didn't get the finish that he wanted so bad coming in here tonight, but he had a phenomenal performance, and he showed that he's one of the best fighters in the world.
All right, it looks like the official decision is in. Yes, here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 5 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. All 3 judges score this contest 48-47. Declaring the winner by unanimous decision, Bruce the Dragon Lee!
All right, so there he is. The celebration is on. He tried to leave the judges out of it tonight, was unable to do that, but a pretty dominant effort nonetheless. He's your winner by unanimous decision.
And you've got to feel good about that. You got to feel good about dominating every aspect of a fight and getting a victory. He should be very proud of his